So obviously you can see that nobody's done this before on your car because it's never been touched. This seam sealer is all original. And an area that is so noticeable to see this on is the right hand side rear. You've again got big corrosion here on the corner, which I'm sure you've probably been aware of, but it's got to a point where the paint can no longer hold the corrosion growth at bay, so therefore it's cracked. And normally you wouldn't get to see it at this angle because you're looking down at the car, but now we're looking up at the car and the bumper's off and there's no dirt or mud inside the wheel arches. We can really see how much work is there. So this will be an interesting sort of experiment on video because I've not touched or picked at or moved any seam sealer or corrosion in this area. This is the right rear wheel arch on your E46 M3, and you can see that there's corrosion coming in from sort of this edge, and you can actually hear how creaky the paint is because it's trying to crack when I'm gently compressing it. But it's normally these seamed edges where the quarter panel laps around on a U shape and then just finishes, and where it joins then the inner wheel arch, which is this one here. That area is the high spot, the sort of common area where corrosion can build up. Mud sits up in this area. We had to take a lot of mud out from the wheel arch and dry sort of road film and dirt because it sort of fills these channels up. There is a channel there and it all sits in there, and unfortunately a moisture like that causes a corrosion problem over a long period of time. So the reason why I'm showing you this video is because I can see in this area here there is a lot of bubbling going on, and this bubbling, I fear, is corrosion which is growing on the metal of the inside of the arch, but just not been strong enough yet to actually pierce through the seam sealer. So I've got a small pick here and I'm just going to press on it, and I think I can hear and I can pick at it. So obviously you can see that nobody's done this before on your car because it's never been touched. This seam sealer is all original, but what I've just been able to do is go through seam sealer, which should never be able to do like this. Seam sealer should be a really, really strong component which actually doesn't come apart very easily. And what I'm now discovering is huge amounts of corrosion growth on the internal rear wheel arches. And this is just one of the areas where it's growing, it's traveling upwards. But in actual fact, the real problem is going to be where it travels downwards, the area that I'm going to struggle to show you on the video because it's inside a small channel. That area will be so weakened and so soft, we've seen this many times before, that the internal rear wheel arch, which is this panel here, will actually be holed. I can almost guarantee it. Just by hand pressure, let alone any sort of tooling, which we're going to need to work to get that corrosion gone, it will be holed all down in this channel here, which means that you haven't got a watertight section nor a structural join anymore between the quarter panel and the internal wheel arch because of all this trapped hidden corrosion. And this in reality needs taking care of. Obviously we wouldn't ever force anybody to go forward with it if they weren't comfortable to do it, but this video hopefully highlights what we've found now the car is stripped down, fully degreased, and the arches are cleaned out, and to give you an idea of what might be needed to save the arches on this car, because I fear if it's not done in the near distant future, it might take a couple of more years, but you're actually going to have problems further inside the wheel arches, and it's just amazing how much corrosion is growing underneath this seam sealer. But I thought I'd let everybody know what we're finding more and more nowadays, and it's quite surprising to see on what is a really premium car still, an E46 M3 suffering with sort of rotten arches. It's terrible, such a shame, but there's definitely things that can be done. We do specialise in this car, as many people will know, and more so much in the rear arches. So do let us know, are you suffering with rear arch corrosion like many cars? I've even got this on one of my cars. I haven't yet tackled it, but I've got outer arch rust or corrosion, which I know is likely to be coming from this inside edge. And as we've just shown on this video, it's not just limited to the arches, the lips, and anywhere very easy. This is quite a complex problem where corrosion can be delving and hiding behind edges that just simply aren't easy to access and get to. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you're suffering with this problem, if you've had this problem, what you've done, whether you've replaced arches, whether you've ignored it, whether you've fiberglassed it, whether you've cut them out, bonded them, many different options and things like that. It's always good to share experiences, and this is just one of our videos to show people what we're doing. And I probably should have said the details on this vehicle. It's a 2004 E46 M3 Coupe with 73,000 miles. So really not many miles on the car. One of the later ones as well. It's only one more year of production for the Coupe. So 2004 with 73,000 miles.